again, welcome back. Here we are continuing our discussion of CSS, and we are going to start working on our CSS framework, okay? So I've got the sample page open here, and it really doesn't look too exciting, right? It's just got, it doesn't really have a lot in here. It's just the default code, but you can see what I've got on the page here is I've got some links, I have some headings, I have some code samples, I have some paragraph styles, I have a few buttons, I have some links, okay? I have some form elements here, and I have some color swatches, right? We don't see the colors yet, but we'll add those later. And then I have a navbar example, right? And then there's a footer down here with some lists, right? So your goal is to style these things. Now we want to style them as generically as possible so anybody can just import our style sheet and use it. But in some cases, you'll have something where, if they add the class name navbar, then this will arrange itself as a navbar, right? Or if you have a button, we'll be able to add a style or something to the button to customize it, okay? But in general, we can just style the tags directly. Let's get started. I'm going to open up the markup here, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new style sheet. So this will be the style sheet, and if people wanted to download my framework, they would download the style sheet, add it to their project, and link to it. So let's make that right now. I'm going to save this and call it styles.css, okay? And I'll put it in the folder where I'm working here, which was, I think it was in class 6 example, right? Okay, so there we go. So what's our goal here, right? Let's take a look. So the first thing is we want to style the typography, right? So that's going to include headings, paragraphs, and links, okay? So let's do that. So I'll start here with the body tag. Let's zoom in on that, right? So I'll start with the body tag, and what I want to do is set the font size to something reasonable. So I'm actually going to just set this to 16 pixels for now, which is actually the default, but we can change that later. I just have it defined here, right? And then we'll have to pick a font family. So I'm going to pick font family, and I think I'm going to go with one of the system fonts. So I kind of like this Apple system with Helvetica, right? So I'm going to choose this one. And, when I save that, oh yeah, it's not changing here. We have to link to it. So let's add a link here. So anybody that was to use my framework, they would do this. They would add a link tag, rel style sheet. Wait, style sheets. Wait, I just want style sheet, lowercase, and href. And we're going to link to style CSS, right? Oh, there we go. So that's already looking better, right? Not too bad there. So now let's set the, so I've got my basic font styles there. If I decided maybe, let me actually zoom, set that to the regular zoom. So if I decided this was like a little too small, maybe, I could set the default font size to 18 and everybody would scale up, okay? Let's also set a style for headings. So I have headings H1 through 6, and I might leave them alone, but maybe maybe I want the H1 to be like a little bit larger, right? Like this H1 is like a little small, so maybe I'll do H1, and I can set the style of it here. So let's set that to font size of 1, let's make it 2 rems. That's a little bigger, 2.5 rems. Now again, you're gonna have to make the call here, so you decide, right? So I'll do 2.5 rems. And then now how big should the sub headings be, or the ones, H, is that 4, 5, 6? So what if I had H2, 3, 4, 5, and 6? And I always feel like this H6 is too small, right? So I think I'm going to make the H6 1 rem, okay? Now all the other ones are the same size, but the H6 is 1 rem, so I think that's a little better. Let's actually comment this out just for a second, right, so I can compare it, right? If I comment that one out, yeah, see, that's too small. Let's do 1 rem on the H6. So then let's think, how can we kind of evenly gradate these down a little bit smaller, you know? So maybe we'll do this one as, 2, this one can be 1.5, we can do this one as 1.25, and I'm not sure what to do with the H5 there. What if we did, I don't know, maybe there's a better way to do these numbers. Let's do this one 1 point, or do that one 3, 1.5, 2, 1.5, 1.25. That's kind of getting in there. Maybe I want to adjust those later, right? But anyway, you can decide for yourself, right? So I've set the sizes here. If I change the number at the top, everybody's going to scale a little bit, right? So if I can make that 10, now everybody's really small. But 18 actually didn't look too bad. So let's go with that. And now let's set the link style. So, these links don't look that great. The color is not very good. The underline is maybe, a little bit excessive. So let's style that. So I'll say anchor tag. You're going to be text decoration none, and then we'll have a color. So the blue is a little too strong. Let's change this to another blue color. And let's see here. I actually like this cornflower blue. It's a little bit light though, so maybe I'll change it and make it like a little bit darker. Maybe that'll be the color right there. So I'll go with that. Right, so this isn't hard to do. We just have to get into the details and style everything, okay? So that's my challenge to you, right? Go through here, style your headings, style the paragraph, style the links, style the buttons, and then style the form elements, okay? And we'll talk about this maybe in the next video, right? And then we'll talk about colors, right? And how to choose some colors. And then we'll style the nav bar. So I'm going to leave that up for you to finish and start styling these on your own, and then maybe we'll kind of review it in the next video.